Good day and welcome to the workshop on advocacy, a treasure trove of resources. As we work through this session, one of the goals is for you to recognize the many things that are readily available to you for finding information about advocating for CTE. My name is Joel Wakefield. I'm the Director of Professional Development and Strategic Planning at WestMech. And I too have been on a similar journey that I'll share with you. Like me, I'm sure you've been asked about to validate the value of CTE. You've been asked questions about the number of students that participate in CTE. You've been asked questions about how is CTE funded. You've been asked questions like I have about the impact of CTE on graduation rates in high school. And many times you've probably felt as though you've had to convince other people about why CTE is so valuable. Well, like you, as a champion of CTE, you probably have wanted to present at conferences and share the wonderful CTE story and the successes that CTE has brought to many students. But you recognize that it would take an incredible amount of time and energy and data to find the research to be able to put a presentation together. And then there's the proposal process. Well, all of that can be very overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you that many of these resources have been curated for you. And there's a team of people that will work to assist you in that process. As we go out and ask these questions, we often don't have a background in advocacy or political science, and we may not feel comfortable with speaking in public. And so this adds to the challenge. But again, I want to affirm that it's all a part of growing and sharing the wonderful things that occur in career and technical education. As we do this, we're going to look at 3 different topics. We'll look at what the issues are, and we'll look at 5 legislative priorities. Very briefly taking some time to look at these legislative priorities. And then we'll move into where we find the data and the research to support the good work of CTE. And then finally, we will spend a little bit of time talking about how we communicate and the who of communicating with our legislators. And many of you may be very familiar with this process, but often knowing how to access that can be a hurdle that we have to get through. So we'll share a little bit about that. So let's talk very briefly about some of these issues. CTED superintendents get together on a regular basis and they talk about these legislative priorities. I'm going to share 5 with you, and I will also share with you where you find this information when we get to the where portion of the presentation. So the first is has to do with anytime, anywhere CTE. It's in House Bill 2124. The second that you'll want to take a look at is that of 4th year funding. 4th year funding has been a topic that's been around for a few years. It continues to be important for us. So it would be one that you'd want to take a look at. And then also is that of internships. This is another House bill that's out this year. Internships are an incredible part of our work-based learning, and they create students that have a real sense of what the industry is like. So we want to make sure that we have that opportunity for them. And not to be another issue that along the lines of this great experience that students have are these ed projects, or also known as student-based enterprises. Take a look at this legislation because it provides some latitude for how students can run the business of their school and utilize those funds for their program. And the 5th legislative priority that we're looking at is that of CTED letter grade exemption. So Although we haven't talked much about these 5, we'll have an opportunity for you to look into those. But it's a great opportunity to learn really the issues that are surrounding and that are critical to career and technical education currently. You know, about 10 years ago, a group came together of committed CTE administrators, those involved in professional development, teachers, and they worked to create what was called the leadership continuum. Their goal, their dedication and their goal was to build the capacity and to assure the sustainability of leadership in the classroom, in school administration, in post-secondary leadership, as well as business and industry, all focused around career and technical education. Shortly after their inception in 2010, they began to put together a teacher track of courses, which is now known as the Premier Series. As you well know, it allows teachers to become certified and maintain their certification. They followed up with resources for administrators through the Administrator Series, and much of their work is done in collaboration with ACOVA, which is the Professional Association for CTE administrators. And then they also followed up with work for counselors by developing the Counselor Series. And through the course of this time, they've developed presentations that they're hosted on the website. They've curated numerous resources for counselors as they work with students and understanding CTE and career-driven opportunities for students. But one of the challenges that was faced as this group continues to work together is that idea of sustainability. So in collaboration and in conjunction with ACTEAZ, the decision was made to take the website that was built for the Leadership Continuum and house it under the website of ACTEAZ. And so currently you will see a new tab in the ACTEA menu that says CTE Leads. This is all the good work that's been done for the last 10 years or so that enables this information to be available for anyone that might need it. And so this is, the work has been saved, and you can continue to find the resources that you've heard about the Leadership Continuum has been working on. Additionally, we're going to be spending some time looking at the Ambassador Series. The Ambassador Series was a series that's created as we advocate for CTE. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the key features underneath that tab. One of those features is under What's Hot. And under What's Hot, you will find the 5 legislative priorities that I spoke about earlier. Here you can see 3 of them, but the 5 are listed there. And if you'd like to read about this legislation, click on the link. It will take you to the state legislature website. The actual bill will be written up or public or downloadable for you, as well as the legislative updates and summaries, and you can see some of the voting that's gone on there. So just a very easy way to access this information. The other thing that you'll find when you look at this is this action and letting your voice be known by signing into RTS. RTS is the request to speak. And there's a system that we'll talk about in the who portion of this presentation that just shows you the quickest way to get there. It is important to know that you probably do know that when you advocate using this system, it's important that you advocate using your home email or your home address. You are speaking as a citizen. You're not speaking on behalf of a school district. So as you advocate, make sure that you represent yourself as a citizen utilizing those resources of your email and your home address. Additionally, in the What's Hot section, you'll see a whole menu of other things that you can look at. And so we won't take the time now to go into that, but this is a great resource that you can take a look at. One that I'll take a moment and just share with you briefly is in the What's Hot section. It's the Arizona Legislative Chairs. And this document lists the Arizona State Legislative Committee chairs for 2021. Just again, build your capacity of the legislators that are in charge of the various committees. And as you think about who you reach out to and how you reach out to them, this is important information for you. Well, let's continue to go back to the ACTE-AZ website under the CTE Leads or Leadership Continuum website. We're going to move to a section called making a case for CTE. And in this section, you will find something called the Speakers Bureau. Now, the Speakers Bureau is just one of the initiatives that we work on in career and technical education in the leadership continuum, where our goal is to increase the understanding of and the value of CTE statewide. We want to get the word out to as many people as possible. And we know that we can do this through attending conferences and by you attending conferences to share the wonderful CTE story. One of the other ways that we're trying to increase the understanding and the value of CTE is to increase the number of people that are presenting. So I'll share with you in just a few minutes some of the resources that we have for you, but we want to know when you present. We want to know the conferences that you go to, that you share with, so that we can applaud the good work that you are doing and sharing the good things. The third thing that we really work to do is to create the resources, and we'll call it a resource toolkit, but really they are curated presentations that have been put together for you, and I'll show you those in a little bit, so that you can use that as you go out. We aren't there yet. There is still a lot of work to be done, and so part of this is for you to understand that the Speakers Bureau is something that we have available, but would love for your involvement as you go out and share the good things about CTE. Let me take a minute and show you a couple places on the ACTE-AZ website that have to do with the Speakers Bureau. So you'll see here happens to be the Pot of Gold advertisement, but you'll look here and you will see, starting at the home button, you'll scroll over to the leads portion of the leadership continuum portion, go down to making a case for CTE. You will scroll down, you'll see a video that you can use, some basic facts that you can use. And here are some of the work that's been put together for you. We have downloadable, pre-made presentations that are completely editable. The slides are actually graphics, so you would want to use the information on the graphics to create a different slide, or you could use them as they are. And some of these slides even have the embedded notes for you to use. Our hope is that you will use them as you go out. And then as you add notes to them, would love for you to send those to, I'll share my contact information a little bit later, but send those to us so that we can use and update our resources with the good work that you've done. In addition to that, we have pre-written proposals. So as you think about, you find a conference that you would like to present at, you see the resource that you would like to use, we have a proposal that you can just drop right in that proposal section and then use that. So we've tried to do much of the work for you, but know that it's an important, that your work is important also. So we'd love to be able to partner with you on that. Another work that, that we've been doing in the Speakers Bureau is allowing, letting you know, or you communicating with us where you would need some assistance. So we have this link on the Advocate for CTE website, and it asks you to give us information when you need some assistance. So you'll see, you go to the home. When you're on the CTE Leads website, you'll go to the home page. From the home page, you click on the link Advocate, and a Google form will come up. In that Google form, you fill out your information, the type of event that you would like some support at, and a little narrative to give us some information. A member of the Leadership Continuum will reach back out to you to communicate with you, talk about equipping you with the resources, or if it's something that we could help with that, and then we will do our best to find somebody to share the resources. But know again that we always grow best when we ourselves advocate. So we'd love to help you and support you, but we would like you to be able to communicate also. So that's the two components of the Speakers Bureau that I wanted to make sure that we had time to talk about today. In addition, we have, we'll leave our state website, and we're going to go and look at the national ACTE website. And although there are tremendous amount of resources on this website, we're only going to take a look at two for the purposes of time today. We encourage you to go back later, but for the purposes of time, we're just going to look at two. So the first that we'll look at is under the YCTE section. And if you go to the YCTE section, you can pull up the basic facts location. And here are curated short briefs about various topics that are critical to CTE, that help people understand the terminology, what CTE is, and some of the wonderful impact that CTE has. So you can follow these links, and then the next thing that you'll see, the next slide will show you, they ask you to just give some basic information about who you are. You're not signing up for any emails, but you're simply giving them information as to who's utilizing the resource. I encourage you to use this resource. One of the other resources that you'll find on the Advocacy tab of the National Association website are initiatives at the federal level and the resources in order to contact people about those. So these are federal issues that you can see that they're bills at the federal level. Helps you to understand the initiatives that are going on beyond the state. And so it's a great opportunity for you to look into some of those things. So use the national website because it's packed with many wonderful resources. Well, let's go on and move to another source. This is Advanced CTE. Advanced CTE is the longest standing national nonprofit that represents state CTE directors and state leaders of career and technical education. Their website is also filled with much wonderful information. And again, we'll just take a short amount of time to look at some of these. This, as well as the national site, just give you great data that you can use where you don't have to go out and do a lot of Googling. It's already made for you. So you'll see here that I'll show you the steps to find a newsletter. You see the headers on the menu up there. You're going to slide over to basic facts, and in the basic facts section, you can find again a new news briefs, and in these news briefs you can download them and you can use them. One thing that you'll notice about these is that they're all very current. So we're using current data in our research to present information. These fact sheets are very helpful. Another that I'll show you is actually signing up for a newsletter. And although I'm not a big advocate of signing up for newsletters, this one is a good newsletter. It comes to you about every week, and it shows you and tells you important information. You'll scroll all the way over, and you'll scroll all the way down to this newsletter tab, and you can see historical newsletter that are stored here where you can go back and read previous newsletters. And then you can sign up for a newsletter that will come to your inbox on a regular basis. Incredible information, very helpful as you think about learning current data about the value of CTE. So again, just two very quick resources on the Advanced CTE website. Many more things are available, but I just wanted to make sure you had the opportunity to look at some of those. Well, let's go back. We're going to come back to the state. We're going to look at a couple things that are here. And you'll see here on the ACTE-AZ website, this legislative information tab. This will give you many of the resources that are available to you as you begin to think about the who of contacting and who you contact and the best way to contact them. So you'll see here, both on the leads portion of the website as well as the ACTE-AZ portion, you have resources and legislative links and legislative information on the left-hand side. Again, many powerful pieces of information from the different association websites, former presentations that you can find under the speaker presentations. These would be past presentations that were used that you can use as a resource. And then also how to find Arizona senators, the legislators. And then if you look on the right-hand side at the top, you'll see Arizona legislative information. And then in that section, you'll be able to find, it says find your district. We'll take a minute and go through that quick tutorial, very simple. You may or may not have done that. And then just below that, you'll see the request to speak. And so this is where you actually fill out and create an account for a request to speak. If you choose to go in and speak at one of the meetings down at the Capitol, or even virtually. So let's take a look at this process of finding your district and legislative, your congressional and your legislative district. So I have put in here the address for Westmec. Sometimes I feel like I live at Westmec, but this is the address of Westmec. You would put your home address in here. And then you click find over here on the side, and then it populates your congressional district and your legislative district. And from here, then you can access the representatives that you would speak to based on where you live in the state. Very helpful. It also helps you to find out what their stance is on many issues. You can also find on this, as you look at these, this portion of the website, you'll be able to find many other resources that will be helpful for you as you begin to learn about what the legislators' stance is on different issues. Well, we've talked about a lot of different topics. We've talked about what the issues are. We've talked about where we find some of these resources that have already been put together for you. We've spent a fair amount of time talking about the work of the Leadership Continuum to equip you and then allow you to go out, but then also to help us to reach the four corners of the state with the good news about CTE. So you can see that the resources are here and available for you. And I will leave you with my contact information. I'd like the opportunity for you to reach out to me if you're going to be going out to advocate, so that we make sure that you have the resources that are available. And then we also like to know where you're going so that we can assure that you have readily been able to share the good work that goes on across the state with career and technical education. Well, thank you for your time today. And if there's any other questions or things that we can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope this time has been beneficial for you as we provide you with a map to find your way to the CTE treasure. Have a wonderful day.